Imagine being 65 years old, no money in the bank, no steady income, and the government sends you a check for just over $100 a month, telling you this is all you can rely on for the rest of your life. Most people would have given up right there, but not Harland David Sanders, better known today as Colonel Sanders, the man behind Kentucky Fried Chicken. His story is not about fried chicken. It's about persistence, vision, and proving to the world that age is never a barrier to success. Before KFC became a global empire with more than 25,000 locations worldwide, there was just one man who refused to quit. A man who faced rejection after rejection. A man who got turned away over 1,000 times before someone finally said yes. The story of Colonel Sanders is proof that failure is not the end. It is only the beginning if you have the courage to keep moving forward. Harland Sanders was born in 1890 in Henryville, Indiana. Life wasn't easy. His father died when he was just 6 years old, leaving his mother to raise 3 children alone. At that young age, Sanders had to step up and help. He learned to cook out of necessity, preparing meals for his siblings while his mother worked long hours at a tomato cannery. By age 10, he was already working odd jobs. By 12, he dropped out of school. Sanders wasn't an academic. Instead, life became his classroom. He worked as a farmhand, a streetcar conductor, a railroad fireman, and even tried his hand at law, though that ended quickly when a courtroom fight cost him his job. If there's one word to describe Sanders' early career, it's restless. He never stayed in one job for long. He tried his hand as an insurance salesman, a ferry boat operator, and even ran a tire company. Nothing seemed to stick. Most people would have seen this as failure, but what Sanders was really doing was building resilience. Every rejection, every failure, every false start was preparing him for something greater. In 1930, during the Great Depression, Sanders was given a service station in Corbin, Kentucky. Times were tough, and to attract more customers, Sanders began cooking for travelers who stopped by to refuel. He had a small dining area where he served meals he prepared himself. Simple, hearty Southern food. His fried chicken, cooked with a unique blend of herbs and spices, quickly became a local favorite. Word spread, and soon people weren't just stopping for gas, they were coming for the chicken. By 1936, his reputation had grown so much that the governor of Kentucky awarded him the honorary title of Colonel, recognizing his contribution to the state's cuisine. Sanders expanded his service station into a larger restaurant and a hotel. His chicken recipe, pressure cooked for speed and flavor, stood out from the rest. For the first time in his life, Sanders had found something that worked. He wasn't just making a living, he was building a legacy. But fate had another challenge waiting. In the 1950s, a new interstate highway bypassed his town. Traffic slowed, customers disappeared, and his restaurant was forced to close. At age 65, Sanders was left with nothing but a small Social Security check and a dream. Most people in his position would have retired quietly, but Sanders, he refused to quit. With his secret recipe and his dream, Sanders hit the road. He traveled across the country, often sleeping in his car, going from restaurant to restaurant, offering to cook fried chicken for owners. His pitch was simple: if you like it, let's make a deal. But rejection followed him everywhere. He heard no over 1,000 times. Imagine that. Being turned down again and again, but still moving forward. Sanders believed so deeply in his recipe that failure was not an option. Finally, one small restaurant owner said yes. That was the beginning of the Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise. Sanders began licensing his recipe, and word spread. By the early 1960s, there were hundreds of KFC locations across the United States. Sanders's persistence had paid off. He went from living on a $100 pension to building one of the most successful fast food empires in history. In 1964, Sanders sold the company for $2 million, a fortune at the time, but remained its brand ambassador. His white suit, black string tie, and friendly face became symbols recognized worldwide. Even in his later years, he traveled more than 200,000 miles a year, visiting KFC restaurants and promoting his chicken. He lived to see his vision expand into a global empire. Colonel Sanders' story is about more than chicken. It's about never giving up no matter your age or how many times life knocks you down. At 65, when most people are thinking about slowing down, Sanders was just getting started. His story proves that it's never too late to chase your dream. So what's holding you back? Fear of failure? Fear of rejection? Remember, Sanders was rejected over 1,000 times before success. The only true failure is giving up. Next time you see the face of Colonel Sanders on a bucket of chicken, remember this: that's not just a logo. That's a story of resilience, a reminder that persistence, grit, and belief in yourself can turn even the darkest moments into success. Whether you're 25 or 65, your best days may still be ahead of you, because dreams don't have an expiration date.